I decided I wanted to be a police officer in 10th grade geometry class, which tells you how much I was paying attention to geometry. My father had been in law enforcement. I had a cousin in law enforcement, and it just held a lot of appeal to me. I kind of like the idea of not knowing what's going to happen and responding to it. Not a traditionalist at all. And when somebody tells me, no, you can't do that, well, yeah, I think I can. So it's kind of a challenge. And in the 60s, when I made that decision in the late 60s, there were very few female officers working the street. You know, they worked in juvenile, they worked with women who had been sexually assaulted, but not out on patrol, not out working the task force, buying narcotics, or they just didn't do that. So that's what I wanted to do. And I went to Bemidji State University, got my degree in criminal justice, did an internship with the State Patrol to finish up my degree. In 1983, the city of Detroit Lakes offered me full-time employment, which I accepted. It was after I joined them that I got to work 2 different tours with the West Central Minnesota Task Force on narcotics, buying drugs and some stolen property, and that was a rush. But what I enjoyed most was investigations. In the last 11 years of my career, I spent as the lead investigator for Detroit Lakes Police Department. I guess not unlike military, they don't see the things that we don't talk about. The things that I've never told anybody, never will tell anybody. Law enforcement today is different than when I served. I've been retired now for 14 years, and I had started the kennel. I knew I was retiring, so I started the kennel about 6 months before I retired and just went full-time into taking care of dogs, and now that's 14 years. So since I was in law enforcement for 31 years, I guess I'm halfway through my second career working with the dogs. Patriot Assistance Dogs was started back in 2011 because my daughters had gotten me into service dog work through their 4-H projects, and I had become known as the crazy dog lady in Detroit Lakes. I had a lot of people asking me where they could get a service dog for a veteran, for somebody returning from deployment. Examples would be my grandson is coming back and he's really having a lot of problems. He's struggling. My husband is back from Iraq and he's just not the same person that left. We've looked for service dogs. I know that you train for leader dogs for the blind, or you raise puppies for leader dogs for the blind, and you work with some of the other organizations. But where can we get a dog that's trained to do work for veterans who have PTSD? And I had no place to refer people to. So I started researching, and an employee of mine, Michelle Bechtold, started researching with me, and together we put together a little program that we hoped would help some veterans, as well as rescue some of the dogs that came in through our city pound. I own a kennel in Detroit Lakes, and we have the city pound contracts for 7 area towns, and a lot of dogs come in that are great dogs. Figure somebody's got to claim this dog, but they don't get claimed. So what do we do with these great dogs? Something positive, give them a better life. How can we help the veterans who are returning that have written the blank check up to and including my life? How do we help them reintegrate back into the community? So we started training dogs, teaching them skills that mitigate symptoms, anxiety, depression, night terrors, road rage. We do not charge the veterans anything for the dog. The training the dog gets, the $400+ worth of gear that goes out with them, all the medical stuff that goes into the dogs before the veterans even meet them. They don't pay for any of that. By taking a good dog and a good handler and putting them together, we can get some darn near perfect matches. To see the difference from on Monday morning, our classes last for a week, so you watch people come in on Monday morning, often they have hats on, shades on, closed up, often bladed away, backs to the wall like we talked about, in corners. until the dogs come in. And when we start bringing dogs in and handing them off to different veterans, you see the smiles coming, maybe the shades go on top of the hat, you see the interaction, you see that dog warming up, coming up, you see a smile. The next day when they come in to receive dogs, you see, I want to work with that dog that I had yesterday, I want to meet this dog that I didn't get to work with yesterday. You see some personalities coming out. I can talk about how we started the program, how we get dogs, how we raise funds, but I can't speak from the heart as to what the dog can do for another veteran the way Mickey can, or the way our other veterans can. So if you have a dog and it's working for you, please tell other people. Please share this, because I hope I live another 20 years to see what service dogs are doing in the industry now.